Hello, beautiful people. I'm Eliza, and this week I was in this beautiful project called In and Out Ourselves in this beautiful town in Dospat, Bulgaria. During this week, we learned a lot of techniques how to improve ourselves and how to see us from out and inside of us. And in this video, we will talk about setting boundaries.
Hi, I'm Justina from Latvia.
Hi, I'm Eliza from Romania.
Hi, I'm Carol from Portugal.
Hello there, I'm Elena from Greece.
And hi, I'm an editor. I'm Tanya from Ukraine.
We are here participants of the Erasmus project, looking in and out, and we are going to discuss about setting boundaries and what does it mean like for us.
But to talk about that, we should discuss a little bit types of boundaries and shortly some examples. So each of us is going to take one of the boundaries. We're going to explore 6 of them today and talk about them shortly. So who's willing to start?
Okay, I can start like with the physical boundaries, which is actually like refers to the personal space and how is it like comfortable for us, like for people to be close to us. So it's regarding like the physical proximity, and usually we feel like more okay to leave like and let people like come closer to us when they're like friends of ours or like family, not necessarily, but it's like feels like more comfortable and not that much like with the people that are not like so close to us.
I will talk about sexual boundaries and in specific like relationship, because when we often think of boundaries in relationship as rules that create distance between people, but actually the opposite is true. Relationship boundaries keep people in, not out. They create safe spaces where we feel seen and heard.
And I can continue about time boundaries. Time boundaries are limits we set around how we spend our time. Example of that would be I only take work calls from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and not in any other time. And this is very important these days for the work-life balance. So something to consider.
I'm going to talk about intellectual boundaries. Those kind of boundaries are related with your opinions, your beliefs, your thoughts. And there's also the religious boundaries that are kind of connected with intellectual boundaries, because those kind of beliefs are often crossed when you're having a conversation or when we are debating something. Also, politics can also be often cross those kind of boundaries.
Well, last but not least, material boundaries are boundaries which refers to our possessions and personal items.
Last one, important one, emotional boundaries. And the emotional boundaries are limits you place on the energy and emotions you give and receive in relationship. And not just romantic relationship, also platonic, familiar, work-based ones. So very important. And one example of that could be if you yell at me, I need to leave the room.
So what does it mean like for you to have like boundaries?
I think it's respecting myself first of all.
Also, I think that not only respecting yourself, but also respecting others. Because if you know their limits, you can know how to interact with them and what they really like, what they really don't like, what can they do, what can they not do. So I think during each person, it's very important to establish what are the boundaries.
During our workshop, one of you told a beautiful phrase, like saying yes to others is saying no to you sometimes. And I feel like this is also about setting boundaries, because of course sometimes we are not okay with some things, and it is healthy to say no to other people, because no for them means yes to us, yes for us.
And I think an important aspect is to know that our boundaries are different from other people. So I think sometimes, for example, I use my material boundaries and I reflect them on the other people. So I'm really comfortable with sharing. So sometimes I don't ask for permission for some things, because for me, I don't need them to ask me permission. So I think that's an important thing to consider, that the type of boundaries have different boundaries, and different people also have different boundaries.
I can.
And also I think that it's very important to read about it, because in normal life, like kids, when you see them sitting at the table, you can notice some of them, this is like my space and this is your space, you cannot cross it. But like an adult, it's very important to have your self-awareness related to boundaries, because if you don't read and you don't understand them, maybe you don't know how they work actually.
I can relate actually to that. I was thinking of my childhood and like my physical boundaries when there were like relatives coming and started like hugging me and like kissing me, and it didn't like feel always right, and it was kind of like challenging while like growing up to understand like how, when it is okay and how like to stop people doing that. And also like for me to explore, as like already mentioned, like what does it mean like physical boundaries like to other people, because I really like to hug like people and this intimacy, but other people don't feel okay with that. So it's also like nice to explore how you can ask like for people what is like okay for them.
So our international team is so grateful for listening to this small podcast about setting personal boundaries. We all hope that you enjoyed not just watching the videos from our workshop, but listening to us.
And I hope you learn how to settle your boundaries and how to respect the others. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.